Hello, gorgeous Cancer clan. Welcome to December 2019. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk through this really powerful, impactful time. I'm sure, as you are well aware at this point, the Cancer-Capricorn axis is going through a big revolution. You all have the north node of the moon in your sign for another few months here, and Capricorn has a south node of the moon in their sign, and that means that all these eclipses are happening either in your sign or in your oppositional sign, highlighting yourself as an individual and yourself in partnership. And there being a lot of reworking and a lot of exploration. And we are heading back into eclipse season this December. We've had a little break since the summer, and now we're back here in December with a new moon in Capricorn solar eclipse that will be happening. And of course, just in general, Capricorn's getting really lit up. The other really big thing that's happening is on December 2nd, Jupiter, who has been in Sagittarius for the last year or so, is moving into Capricorn, your oppositional sign. And that's going to be giving your relationships, the way you connect, the way you bond with others, both romantically, definitely, but also in those one-on-one intimate relationships, whether that's deep friendship, any kind of deep partnership that comes up in life, is getting a boost of positive energy. What's been going on the last couple of years for your partnership sector, especially if you're a Cancer rising, has been kind of some work on shadow. Some work on where there's more difficult aspects of relationship. But in the progression of this year, and as we started to have these eclipses, and each wave of these eclipses that happen in your signs have been kind of shifting us into new dialogues about relationship. And I think December is kind of visionary in that way. It's a visionary energy, the month itself is. And for you specifically, this is visionary energy about how you want to connect moving in the future. Now, and there being a lot of visions of that. So for those of you in partnership, in new situations, you may be finding that there's a lot of that kind of conversation happening. It's that time of year anyway. We're closing out one year, beginning another. It's often a time of assessment about what's really working for us. The one thing I will say with all this energy moving for you, the way that it is you may feel really vulnerable. You know, it may feel a little bit like you are open to the world, and that can feel really overwhelming at times. To have these big rushes of energy when you have Jupiter flooding your relationship sector. And this is going to be going on for almost all of 2020. You're going to be having this transit of Jupiter in Capricorn working with you. You are going to be noticing that you do feel a little sensitive. So take your time, be gentle with yourself as you feel through this December. So we have Jupiter moving to Capricorn at the beginning. We have Mercury moving into your 6th house, which is really about the practical health minded voice. We've just finished out a big retrograde in your 5th house of your heart and your creativity and kind of feeling that fellow water sign energy. So Mercury, when it moves into Sagittarius on the 9th, is kind of giving us a fresh perspective and helping you kind of build and create and connect in. Venus and Saturn are conjunct in Capricorn on the 11th. Now that could be really interesting for you because it's going to highlight, where you feel blockages or where you feel restriction about love. And a card just flew out. Well, flew far away. And it flew because it's 8 of Wands. Wow. All right, forward motion is a big one for Cancer. That was one of the big energies, which is why I was saying make sure you're gentle with yourselves. Make sure you're slowing down, taking your time, listening in, because there's so much expansion moving forward. So that Venus-Saturn conjunction that I was talking about is important to look at just because, for you it's about security, right? We're looking at where you feel security in building and creating the life you want to have, the things you want to have around you. So this could be a really reflective day, a little bit more serious tone. And this can also be where you check in with where you want to restrict yourself, where you're feeling maybe not safe, and just assessing that. The full moon is going to be in Gemini, Magician. Yeah, there's no joking around here, Cancers. You guys have this very powerful visionary energy with you this month. That full moon in Gemini is in your 12th house. So your neighboring sign, the sign right before you, illuminating your soul's path. think this moon could be super helpful. 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Jupiter in Capricorn is a really beautiful thing for the Cancer family. You know, that full moon in your 12th house, in your spiritual sector, your hidden side, 6 of Pentacles, balance, loving it, is really helpful in hearing your soul's song and what it's telling you about this coming year. It's very connected to that intuitive knowing of what's next, right? 7 of Pentacles. So 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. We've got some assessment going on there, which once again, with a lot of fast forward growth moving forward, go, go, go. It's important that we take within that process, even if it's really busy and really fun and really lighthearted and exciting, to make sure we are taking little moments throughout the week, maybe throughout the day, to assess how we're feeling. Whoa, 2 cards came out, the Lovers and the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful. Let's pull one more card and then we will talk through this beauty. So we have that full moon in your spiritual house, and then we get into Capricorn season. We have the sun moving into Capricorn, and shortly thereafter we have this new moon in Capricorn with the eclipse. Now, eclipses are all about transforming, turning over the page, shifting into the next thing, right? It's about there being a blotting out of what was and moving into the next phase. And especially with a new moon, you know, you're amplifying that newness. You're beginning a new journey. There's a lot of new beginnings. And Knight of Swords. Okay. And I think it's perfect, right? Because it's close. It's so shortly after the solstice, so we've just had that sun moment of the year where we're shifting into different length of days again, and we are getting close to the Julian calendar of the end of the 2019 and starting a new decade. So it's very symbolic in so many ways, and I think that forward growth, it's big for you all. And like I said, the main thing I'm noticing with that is making sure that you're gentle and tender with yourself throughout the process of this big growth and all this new exciting territory that you're exploring, because I think it could be very easy for you to feel a little bit drained or overwhelmed. Because look at this. I mean, 8 of Wands with the Magician is about very electrical, quick energy, right? These are manifesting cards. These are not about like sitting and like feeling the energy behind the scenes and thinking about it. This is kind of the energy that comes up after you've done that quiet, connective time for a little while, and suddenly things are popping and it's moving and you're on the train. It's like 5 stations out from the starting platform. You're way out there, right? That's kind of how this feels. It's like sometimes I think with this energy, it's like you dove into the deep end. Now you're out there and you're going. You know, there's no really looking back. There's only looking forward. So there's an intensity to this. So new. A lot of new information, a lot of new insights, a lot of new opportunities are coming in, just like fast and furious here, right? As the first half of this month unfolds. And these are very positive energies. You know, they want to take you to what's right for you. They want to, water finds the quickest path down the hill, right? It's not going to meander and stop over here. It's going to take us right where we need to go and keep us focused on right where we need to keep on focus, which can simplify our energetic processes. Now for you, where is this leading you? I mean, 10 of Cups energy, which I love to see for the Cancer family, right? The key words here, yes, there's a loving partnership in the cards. Yes, there's this like playful, familial energy, but you can really take 10 of Cups to such a bigger place, a bigger level when you're talking through energy. Because the key words with this are ease, culmination, celebration, and arriving. You know, arriving at a whole place. Now, the 10 of Cups also makes me think about how, yes, we sometimes have those moments where we look around and we realize everything we have, you know, and we just are like, wow, I feel so grateful in this moment. Absolutely. But I also feel like the 10 of Cups is something that we work toward. You know, when we're tapped into this energy, we're always in the process of creating it. And the Ten of Cups is long-range vision too. So this is about how we build those things over time, how we plug into those things over time, and how we nurture and nourish them just like we would a garden. And so Ten of Cups is speaking to this longer range feeling for me. While we have these big bursts of immediate energy going on right here where it's like boom, 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 and there's a lot of power in making those plans and creating those outlines and getting all the details in order and making it work, there's also this sense that all that busy energy in December is feeding into something much longer and much deeper, which I love. And that's part of the next message that comes in with these pentacles right here, because if you kind of look at this whole process, you get a huge infusion of new energy, that Mercury direct out of post-shadow phase by the time, especially by the time it hits into Sagittarius on the 9th, we're really moving forward on plans and projects and connections. So there's a huge infusion of that energy. And then there's a time of assessment. There's a time of really balancing it out, looking at what you have, looking at where you want to invest your energy next, making sure you're feeling balance and harmony in anything that's working for you. And like I was saying, with that really open, vulnerable energy that's kind of coming through with all this energy in your opposing sign of Capricorn, and all this tenderness that's flooding your relationship sector, this is a great tool set for you in this process. You know, making sure that you are nurturing yourself just as much as you're giving to others. You may be very tempted to just give because you're in this high point, you're feeling really good. Let's just keep pushing forward. But these two cards are cautioning that it's also very important to just take some time to incorporate. Energetic shifts where we are incorporating and we are growing into new roles, into new adventures, take a toll on our physical body, and not like a negative toll, but we just need time to assess. And also I think there's a bittersweetness, especially in the Seven of Pentacles, in looking at what when we're starting a new adventure and we're starting new chapters in our lives, we also are taking a moment to look over what is no longer going to be able to come with us. And I think while that sometimes can feel really good, we're like, oh, I don't have to bring that with me. That's a really good feeling. There's also that bittersweetness of realizing that what was always there is no longer with you anymore. And so there's also kind of just this reflective moment going on with incorporating what's happening in life and how much it's changing, and really letting that work through you in a gentle way so that you can keep moving forward in happy ways. Because, you know, you do have the Lovers here. I mean, you got the Ten of Cups and the Lovers. These are very relational energies, right? Now, the Lovers does bring a little complexity to it because it's about deep partnership, often soulmate connection, right? It's also about how we can get lost in that, and also how we can sometimes get stuck in loops. So some of those themes may be coming up for some of you. On the other hand, I think the Lovers is always a call to action, because when we meet equals, and when we're around people who call us to be our best selves, we're really having to step up into those roles. We're having to see ourselves clearly, which once again, Capricorn season is mirror season for you. And I just nickname it that because the sun's in your opposing sign, and you're getting this ability to see yourself kind of from the opposing view and helping yourself see anywhere that maybe you're feeling resistance or maybe where you're feeling sabotage, and really get a clear picture of that. And the Lovers definitely has that mirror duality energy to it. So, you know, this whole process of infusing your relationship house with energy, especially with Jupiter moving in there, it's great, it's really fun, but it also helps you see yourself very clearly and then step into and own into the roles and the energy you want to give and receive. So there's a really big message here going on of taking you somewhere really deep in partnership. You know, this isn't about shallow flirtation. While that's fun and there's a lot of fun-loving energy here, this is definitely much more about what you're wanting to build on. And that's what's interesting about these last two nights. Now, of course, some of you maybe are working with a night that's a little too slow to move and a night that's a little too quick to act, right? These two are kind of extremes in the way they move through the world, if you want to look at it like that. So some of you may be dealing with that in life, with projects, with people, who knows? But I think this is also part of your internal process this month, and it can be a little confusing because on the one hand, you have the assessor here. Knight of Pentacles wants to assess everything before making an investment or a step or a move. He would rather watch and perceive and make sure everything's working than just take an action. Knight of Swords, on the other hand, just wants to dive in there, share his opinions, jump in, see what happens, jump and then think later, right? Both of these are kind of necessary though. And there are moments when we need to assess. We need to take a moment, we need to look, we need to make sure we feel that we want to invest. And then there's a moment where we just got to go for it, right? And I like the order that these came out because I think this is the healthy way to do it. You can give yourself some time to assess. You can give yourself some time to incorporate, like we were talking about with the 6 and 7 of Pentacles. But then there's a point at which you can't keep assessing and you've got to just dive in. And there's a big adventure opening up for you this month, a big adventure that is inviting you. I mean, it's almost like there's no choice really, but giving yourself the time to incorporate and assess will help you when you're making that leap and when you're in that vibrant energy to move through it in a way that feels really good to you. And so, you know, if I was going to give you a keynote for this month, it's growth is huge, vulnerability is huge, positive energy is moving you forward at lightning quick speed. So, with that being said, there's a lot of revolution, a lot of change out of information, a lot of new information coming in, a lot of tenderness, a lot of deep conversation, a lot of getting closer in relationship, in those partnerships that you have in life. There being a really strong emphasis on what love means to you and what you want that to build into this coming year. I have a few affirmations for you all for the month of December that I hope you take with you and use whenever you're needing a moment to reconnect. I allow love to flow to and from me with ease. I am open to new beginnings. I feel hope, gratitude, and curiosity about what is on its way to me. I nurture tender or scared parts of myself and ease them into these new waters. I'm really excited for your December ahead. I think it's going to be beautiful. I know the Cancer in my life is going to be definitely going through some big transformations and new adventures. But, you know, everybody has their own version of that, and that can really look like so many different paths and energies. So I am sending you all my best. Have a beautiful December moving through that Capricorn eclipse. And of course, in January, we will be looking at your eclipse in Cancer with the full moon in Cancer in January. I'm really excited to go over that with you and how that's going to revolutionize how you see yourself moving through the world. It's really exciting. And of course, if you're interested in checking out what Jupiter is doing in Capricorn, I created a video for that over on Patreon. So if you haven't joined me over there yet, I would love to see you on Patreon. It would mean the world to me. It means so much to me from those of you that have already joined me. I'm losing my words as I'm trying to speak here. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at SarahVerba or on my website, SARAHTAROT.com. I'll leave all of my links and my goodies in the description box. But right now, the best way to get in touch with me is either through Patreon, Instagram. You can follow me there, or you can feel free to send me an email as well. Like I said, I'll leave all my information in the description box. You can connect with me over the moon magics that I will be creating this month, and I will see you all so soon for more magic and more excitement. I'm sending you all of my love for this beautiful December ahead.